What is happening in society today? What has happened to the world? It seems to me like everything that was once normal has flipped upside down. I want to talk about Bezos. I want to talk about the reaction to the recent Bezos interview. I want to talk about to what I'm seeing on the grounds. I'm a small business owner. I want to talk about the things that I hear all the time, the sentiment, like the temperature on the streets, what I'm seeing online, because it's pretty mind-boggling to me. And I want to explain why. I want to break this down. And I want to hear from everybody that watches this video to gauge and understand your perspective and other people's trains of thought, because sometimes I feel like, I don't know, I don't belong. So let's get down to it. Most places that I go to nowadays are ran by employees that don't want to be there. They do not care at all to provide good customer service. They hate their jobs. They're mad at the world. They don't like anyone. And everybody is angry at the uber wealthy of this country. And for the life of me, I don't understand why. I truly don't understand why that is. It used to be, the rhetoric used to be years ago that I remember when it was, oh, all millionaires are bad, right? And then it became all of those people, those politicians and so forth, then became millionaires themselves. And now they have concocted this new rhetoric, this new ideology that it's all the billionaires that are bad now. Not the millionaires, but the billionaires, which make up a tiny fraction of the population, right? Now they're the bad guys, right? Let's everybody focus our attention on these 100 people and be mad at them. It's their fault that the rest of us are not billionaires. It's their fault that so many other people have not succeeded financially or feel like they have not succeeded financially. I feel success looks different for everyone, right? You may be successful and make $100,000 a year. That may be success for you, right? Success for you may be, I make 100K, I support my family, we have a roof over our head, we have food on the table, I have succeeded, right? And for some people want what other people have without doing the work that they have done. Would I like to be a billionaire? Abso-freaking-lutely. Am I going to be a billionaire? No. And that's absolutely okay, right? Will I make $1 million? Will I make $1 million in a year at one point? I believe so. Why? Because I work hard. Because I work nonstop. There's nobody that I know that works as much as I do in my circumference, in my vicinity, right? And that's just, and I have to work so hard just to make $1 million in 1 year, which is super hard to do. And it's harder for me because I came from straight up poverty, right? So I don't go out on the weekends. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I stay home every weekend, every single day, and work on projects and ideas, and businesses that I have, and things that I want to work on, things that I want to grow, because I want to succeed. Most people are not willing to do that. And what I see, because I am a small business owner, what I see is that people are angry at the world and angry at everybody else but themselves, because they have not, because life is hard for them. It's not Jeff Bezos' fault that you have not succeeded in life. And I say that with empathy. I say that as somebody that came from the Bronx. I say that as somebody who did not come from a middle class family even. I say that from someone who came up on paper food stamps at times. Remember the food stamps, the booklet? All right, just keeping it real. But life is what you make it. Some of us are born into wealth. Some of us are born with a better chance. Some of us are born in the hole financially. But when we become adults, especially today in 2026, we have all of the tools and ability, technology, social media. We have everything at our disposal to make it. All right. So if you're not utilizing these things, it's because you're not willing to put the work in. You don't know where to start, perhaps, but you're not asking for help. You're not asking, where do I start? Many of you are looking for a quick get-rich scheme, all right? And you fail. Wonder why that doesn't work? Because making money takes hard work, all right, to succeed. But to me, to be angry, to spend time and energy being angry at someone who does not affect your life in any way is bizarre to me. I see someone like Jeff Bezos, I see someone like Elon Musk, and I get inspired. I love seeing successful people. I love seeing people that are wildly successful, people that think out of the box. It's inspiring. It makes me happy for the future for my children. I think, wow, my son talks about wanting to work at SpaceX. He's in love with space, just like I was, still am. He wants to work at SpaceX. He wants to work at Tesla. He wants to innovate. He wants to do cool shit when he grows up, right? So I get excited for him and what that future is going to look like for him. You know, for my daughter, right? I don't understand this mindset of see people succeed and get angry at them. No, take that energy, all of that time and energy, take that and go work on yourself. Find what's special about you. Find the thing in you that will make you succeed. Everybody has it. And surely there are some people that are born with things that they cannot help, right? Disabilities and things like that. But for most of us, we do have the ability to go out there and get after it. Okay, of course, it would be great if life was just, we can all chill on the beach and not do anything. And it sounds like at some point we're going to probably be there because of AI, right? Where people are going to be placed on a universal basic income. I feel like that's probably a reality. And it seems like we're getting closer to that nowadays, right? For now, you have to get after it. It's just like a sense of entitlement. And I don't expect to have what Oprah has. Why? What have I done in comparison? Why would I even compare myself to a billionaire or a millionaire? Why would I do that? I haven't done what they've done. So I don't know where this sense of entitlement comes from. People that say you deserve a livable wage. Yeah, sure. But what people have to understand when it comes to is, for example, I saw there was on the news that they were starting a union somewhere nearby where I live. Employees were starting a union at a donut shop. What are we doing? How much is a donut shop supposed to pay people to work there? Is that a job that should pay out a livable wage? Are you willing to pay $20 a donut? Right? It's just like common sense. You start working at McDonald's, ice cream shops, and things like that when you're young. As you grow, you learn and gain new skills so that you can evolve and you can continue to earn more year after year. And if you don't do that and you get stuck, you cannot expect to be making 75, 100K, 200K if you don't have the skills required for it. That's just basic. That's just simple. So the spread of sentiment, this ideology of deserve to be paid more, that's just not a thing that's applicable. It's not a blanket idea that fits everyone. Jobs are you working, right? I gave this example to someone the other day that said that they didn't like billionaires. They feel they just don't like billionaires. They feel that being a billionaire is wrong. And then I kind of back on it a little bit just because interesting to me to hear people say that. And well, what do you think they should make? I don't know. Who do you think there should be a cap on what people earn? Who decides that, right? Now we start getting into communist territory, right? We all have the same 24 hours in a day. Sure, we don't all come from the same background. Sure, we don't all have the same resources. But you can start somewhere and make the best out of your 24 hours. Instead of Netflix, instead of DoorDash, instead of going out. And I'm not saying compromise or you can't do anything to enjoy those little things in life, but you have to be willing to sacrifice sometimes, especially if you come from a situation like me. If you come from poverty, you have to be willing to sacrifice and work a little harder in life to make it. And that's just the reality. Is it fair? No. It's not fair. But crying about it and trying to force everybody else is not going to change your circumstances. And I don't feel that I should take from someone else and their hard work because I was born in an effed up situation. Okay, I didn't have the resources that they had. All right, I should take from them. I don't believe that. I'm seeing now we're having a huge people on substances, people out on the streets, because on substances and these issues, and I see more people defending that, people giving out I don't want to say the word, on YouTube, but free apparatus to substances with, okay? Same people that rail and rage against Jeff Bezos will sit there and advocate for, for people to consume deadly substances. Okay, for those same people to have the freedom to wander the streets and vandalize properties and freely consume these substances on the streets. So they'll go to bat for those people, all right, and advocate for that, but rage and rail against someone like Jeff Bezos. To me, it's such a backwards time that we live in. You don't get it. Am I the only one that sees things like this? Because I used to be, and this is not even political, I used to be a Democrat. I used to be very liberal, or so I thought. And then somewhere along the lines, like, started to realize things as I got older, especially over the last few years. And I was like, wow, you don't know that I am a liberal really anymore because of these things that they espouse. I think I'm in a different place now. And especially as a small business owner, I think I see things differently. I'd rather empower people and encourage them to believe that they can do whatever they set their mind to, whatever they put their heart into, instead of making excuses or pointing the finger at other people for not being where they want to be. And I feel like that's what the Dems do. I don't know, I'm just going on a rant here, but that's my take. What do you guys feel? Like, am I losing it? Like, what is happening here? What is happening in the world today?